Hey, it's Gabriel from Genzio. I just had an incredible conversation with Amir from the OwnApp. They're doing some fascinating stuff for the creator economy. They're launching a decentralized social media platform which enables creators to generate revenue in ways that are not currently available. And it's just an incredible business model. They're doing some really groundbreaking, innovative things in the social media space as well as in the crypto space. And there's a big call to action at the end. So stay tuned, get the alpha. Good morning and welcome to the GM podcast. We are live here at the Genzio Media House in ETH Denver. I'm here with Amir, the CEO and CTO of OwnApp. I'm super excited to hear about everything you're building. Welcome. How are you feeling?
I feel great. Thanks for having me. Much appreciated.
Of course. So we've been chatting for a while. You guys have been building the OwnApp for a pretty significant amount of time. You have a lot of things in the pipeline that you're about to launch. So I'm really excited to get through all of that. But to start, tell us a little bit about your background and what inspired you to create the OwnApp.
Right. I would consider myself a lifelong learner. In tech my entire life. As a kid of 10 years old, very long ago, I started developing computer programs, video games for myself, and then just there was no way back anymore to me. I just got a taste of it, how it is to create something out of your mind and then make it real, and make it an application that people can use and have fun with, or profit from it, or just grow with it. And so this is a very exciting process for me, always from the inception of an idea to find the road, and find a way to actually do it. So that is, to me, the most exciting part, the most creative part of developing computer software, which is not just software, as we know. Software is literally running the world, social media, and it's a very important part of culture itself. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit about me.
Fascinating. So the OwnApp is a decentralized social media platform.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about it.
Long ago in the 90s, I got really pissed off, if I may say, that the world is turning into a centralized internet. In the beginning, everyone was very excited that it's going to be this kumbaya, the world is connected, and everyone is going to be having a shot. But that turned out to be totally different. Cloud and the big tech companies came and created a centralized application layer. And it really, I was really unhappy about that. And ever since tried to find a way to build centralized solutions. And when BTC came around, I was all in. When Ethereum came around, I was all in, just embraced it. And ever since tried to build something amazing, which is decentralized, but powerful. That is not a tinker toy. That is not something that you have to have an engineer to set up your account or anything. Something that absolutely everybody can use. And that is what Own is. As you said, it's a decentralized social network. It's an app. Not too different than, say, Instagram or TikTok, right? It looks and feels like a Web 2 app. It's fast, it's exciting, but it's decentralized, meaning it's private key protected. That means your user data, your content, everything, you literally own it, even your social graph. And that's crazy. All the current social media platforms, if you lose your account, you lose access to your followers and all that stuff. This is not happening with Own. It's an entirely different way to do it. On top of it, Own is run by an algorithm that is entirely based on merit. So merit means that the algorithm detects the true organic performance of content, compares it to another, and then extrapolates a model of a trajectory where it could go. And the ones with a higher merit score, they get boosted, right? Meaning that you could come to Own with absolutely 0 followers, just starting out, and you post your thing, and it could literally go instantly viral if it has merit. If it doesn't have merit, well, the opposite happens. But that's how it works. On top of it, we are adding, of course, a digital wallet for supporting EVM, Ethereum tokens, and Bitcoin. So literally, Own is a social media mainstream platform that is designed from the beginning to bring about mass adoption of decentralized systems, crypto, and everything in the most safest way you can actually do it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a bit of a
That's good.
rant.
Yeah, there's so much there. I mean, that's super fascinating, really exciting. My first question is, how does the merit compare to other social media platforms?
Well, it's not. The other social media platforms like the Meta apps and YouTube or TikTok, whatever you have out there, they are essentially based on your personal data, right? They get everything what they get from you, from all your communications, your browsing history, your cookies, what. And they try to compile a persona out of this for your account and then make the content recommendations. That all has the sole purpose to create that specific data set for targeting, for advertisement, programmatic advertisement, and all that stuff, all the shenanigans out there, to somehow make you buy something. We don't do that at all. It works entirely different. Our system just doesn't take any of your data because, frankly, we build it the way that I can't even access your data, right? Aside of when you create your account and the security credentials you pass through, that we make sure that your account is secured with your private key that you control, that we don't even store. That's the thing.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't store your private key. We don't store your access codes and nothing. That means you are utmost secured when it comes to your data and your corporate data, if you're a company running an account of own. So that's the whole different, ballpark of security and privacy, right? Which is an important component. But let me roll back a little bit. See, the most important to individuals and people who are in social media is what? Well, they want to become famous, successful, get the message, the teachings, the beauty, the humor across, right? And that is very hard to do. To predict the current algorithms out there, no one can do it because it's very arbitrary. It's a high level of narrative control, which we also don't do. So we're based in Texas, in Austin, and all I can say, freedom of speech, baby, right? So we are fully committed to freedom of speech, right? That doesn't mean that we allow criminal or hardcore sexual things on the platform. We do not. We want to have it a great experience. We do not allow people to perform ad hominem attacks on anybody. That's not cool, right? You can have a tough discussion, but you don't have to, insult anyone on a deep level. That's not necessary. That shouldn't be part of a human conversation. Behave a little bit, right?
Right.
So aside of that, you do what you do. Express yourself, grow, and go with it.
Fascinating and super exciting. I'm curious about the advertising. So if you're not tracking data, how does advertising come into the play?
Yeah, an entirely new model that's going to be rolled out. The ad engine on Own is based on personal recommendations. That's all I can say about that, because this might be seen by competitors.
Okay.
And I don't want to give them any ideas, but it's going to be something. Imagine you are in the feed of Own and you're enjoying the app, you're posting, you're growing, and you don't see any ads in the feed, but there are ads. Just a little hint.
Okay. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that.
So I know that you guys have various revenue models and you mentioned some of them. Can you touch on some of the other ones as well?
The primary one is tipping, which is a very proven model, like donations essentially, right? A follower loves a creator, said, "Oh my God, this is so funny. Here's $5," right? That is number one revenue. We are taking just a sliver compared to what TikTok and comparable platforms are taking. We're taking the top 20% of that, which is the highest payout out there. So, and more importantly is there are no high barriers, meaning there are no barriers to monetize. You monetize immediately. Everybody on Own is a creator, in our opinion. Every human being has the capability of creation, right? This is what we are. Every one of us has this amazing brain. Some of us use it more, some less, but we all have it, right? And we believe that there shouldn't be no barriers, to make it hard. Like when you want to monetize on YouTube, you apply for the monetization, you need to have such and such metrics already, right? So we don't do that. So average person can come to Own, start away, and all of a sudden, the funny clip goes crazy viral and they monetize immediately. And this is how we monetize in the first place with then there are sponsorships, meaning if you are popular on Own, you go viral, you're crazy. You might have a company that's related somehow to the content, say fashion. You can sponsor that content and your content gets a badge with sponsored by, which is giving you piggybacking on the exposure of that content. And you can bid how much you want to pay for that position. And that's also good for the creators because they monetize immediately, all within the system. You don't have to close any external brand deals on that part because it's real time, which you can still do, of course, depending what you do.
Okay, amazing. Were there any other ones that?
Yeah, down the road, we will have licensing, which means if you are a high quality content creator and there's something that someone else would like to use, they can directly license in our platform, which is fantastic too, because our own ID system, our ZK layer, makes sure that not only your account is protected on literally connected, but also your content is watermarked, meaning if somebody's using it, you automatically are cut into the proceeds if there's money to be made. That own ID solution is very powerful because the way we built it and I architected it is that there are no bots. Yeah, this is going to be the first social media platform where you cannot run a bot.
Oh, interesting.
Everyone on it is a human being or a human being representing an organization, company, project, band, whatever it is, right? But there are no bots. There is no APIs that you
I
can
was gonna
automate
ask
anything. No,
Wow.
no. So meaning the engagement is going to be an entirely different ballpark. Also, we don't diminish any exposure of your posts. Meaning, if you post something now on any of the current apps, maybe if you're lucky, 2% of some of the people who follow you will see directly in their feed. We don't do that.
So followers matter.
Followers matter in the way that if you post something, literally everyone who follows you is going to see your content in their feeds. That's so you don't have to pay up for sponsored and all that stuff. We don't do that either. So meaning combined with this no bot and everyone's going to see your content, you can imagine how much higher the engagement rate is going to be actually from the follower to the creator. We think it's north of 40%, and that's going to be absolutely insane.
Wow.
So yes, we try to remove all the obstacles to create the perfect thing for everybody, not just professionals to express themselves.
I'm curious, what about AI? Do you guys have any policy for AI generated content? How do you own feel about that?
AI came and it will never go away, right? So you as a content creator, of course, you will use all the tools out there like Midjourney, whatever you do, right, to create your content in the first place, and then you upload it onto Own, right? We actually think that we want to position ourselves as a true human network, right? So sure, it's very interesting to see those AI generated influencers like a complete artificial persona, but we believe that is not the right path. We believe that's going to cause even more disconnect within the societies. Already, social media says we connected you, but actually, it's not really true. Actually, the disconnect is way higher. Everything is more abstract, and just because you're connected to someone online doesn't mean he's your friend. Right? A friend is somebody that you actually know. You know, sure, you can build, some sort of relationship online with people, 100%, right? But true friendship is a very innate human thing that requires, actual presence. And so we want to position ourselves as actually a truly human experience.
Is there an element of bringing or fostering in-person connection through the app?
Yeah, so also what you will be able to do is when you meet someone in person, for example, just tap your phones together, regardless which operating system, you can just connect like that. AI is very important to us, though, because for making sure that there's no horrible content, we of course have pattern recognition systems and all that stuff utilizing it. But also in the editing suite, you'll be able to utilize AI tools, right, to improve your content. All that stuff is fine, right? But as long as you are the person or a human being operating your account and being in the presence, you can do whatever you want to do, of course, right? We don't want to suppress AI. AI is a very powerful tool. We just have to be careful with it.
Right. Absolutely. In terms of, you mentioned crypto earlier. For some people that aren't so familiar with crypto or have yet to get exposed to it 100%, what role is crypto going to play, and why is it important, specifically with regards to the OwnApp?
The DNA of Own itself is highly crypto, right? From the storage system, from the Own ID layer, everything around it is Web3 plus. We're actually Web5 the way we do it. And the wallet itself is, of course, a very important component, because when you monetize an Own, and that's very interesting now, you have the in-app purchase goods like the tips, the sponsorships then, or advertisement. You earn cash, which you then, of course, can cash out to your checkings account, like over Apple and Google, and etc. Easy. The second way to earn is the create token. We didn't call it Own token for a reason, because we want to open it up to all the platforms out there to be adopted. So we thought it's a bad idea to call it create token for the creator economy for everybody. And that token is going to be a secondary way of monetizing based on your engagement. And this is big. That token is going to be paid out to you. Meaning if you have 1,000 views from something and you get such and such tokens. But here's the kicker. There is hundreds of millions, even 1 billion people in the world who are part of the creator economy but don't monetize over creator funds. In the emerging markets in the world, everywhere. Not even Mexico has a great funnel for TikTok, for example. You have to move to the United States, to have an address in order to even monetize.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
I didn't even know
It's
that.
wild. I think even Canada doesn't have a TikTok creator fund.
Wow.
It's wild, yeah. And all the big platforms just focus on the usual suspects in the Western world where people have some more money and, and the advertisement makes sense. We are ending that. We say with a create token, right? Doesn't matter where you are. If you're in Zimbabwe or in the Philippines or I don't know, in Kathmandu,
Right.
somewhere in some city, or in Manhattan or in Los Angeles, it doesn't matter. You earn the same amount of tokens for your engagement, and that's a game changer.
Wow.
We're connecting literally the entire world of creation with the Create token, and hopefully it becomes a very significant asset that powers the creator economy, which is growing ever so bigger every year. And that is also very interesting now. There is a big call to action, guys. We are announcing the biggest actual challenge out there for you creators. It's the 100 million token challenge, which is this. You download OwnApp right now. It's going to be activated full on March 7th. And you share your link of your account to all your followers. And everyone tapping the link and also downloading the app, you get 3 tokens. And that is interesting because we're giving away 10% of the total fixed supply, it's 100 million units, for free. Because we thought it's just great to start out the future of the creator economy with giving and not right away taking.
Wow. Wow, that's huge. So what can people do right now to get involved?
Well, go to www.iown.app and there are the links to the app stores. Download the app, just get started, reserve your username. We already have approaching 50,000 on the wait list. So hurry up with your usernames so you don't end up having your cool name or cool branding and then you need to do a dash and a number and all that stuff. So if you want to have your clean branding as your handle, do it right now on iown.app and you find the links and join the challenge and share the link and literally earn a lot of tokens, which will be brought to market in the next 4 to 6 weeks with the most significant players in the crypto space, all I'm saying. And it looks very promising. So it might be worth your while.
Well, yeah, I already did it. I got it in early. So now I just got to keep spreading my link around. Thank you so much, Amir, for coming by.
Thanks, everyone.
Brought to you by Hedera and Foresight Ventures.
Hey, what's up?
But it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a hive.
How do you know we do not understand that we need more hive? Ladies and gentlemen.
Get back at the Genzio Media House.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today.